Hello and welcome to this gaming face punch. Almost a special. There's lots of stuff going on with our non-E3 E3 look at stuff. News is coming out literally as we speak, and I imagine there'll probably be more this evening, which we won't be able to cover very well. But lots of interesting things have happened, and we're going to try and pick through some of the key bits that we enjoyed. There was Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley. And then there was the Ubisoft event, the Gearbox event, and the Devolver Digital event. I'd just like to point out that the Devolver Digital event didn't have any games that I looked particularly interested in, but as a presentation, gets a full 10 out of 10. I'll have to say it. How can I put it? It plays on the pass, because it was Devolver Digital's Pass Max Plus subscription service that they were honking all the way through. And I always do appreciate a good poke in the eye. Anyway, Nigel, how are you doing?
I'm all right. Almost forgot I was here for a second, like monologuing, like a crazy evil genius.
Lots of cool stuff going on. I mean, lots of cool stuff going on. And there's just there'll be more. And I'll try and get to some of it. I did a really shit stream going over the Ubisoft one after I watched the Ubisoft one. Made some notes, but I should have made a bit more comprehensive notes on it. But hey, let's get on to our first one, which happened, I think, just before all the gaming facilities started. Right, Battlefield, not 2143, which is the one I wanted, 2042. I'll put this on. I'm going to turn the volume down a bit here so we can talk over the top of it, because there's quite a lot of interesting stuff here. I'm going to shut the window because a fucking helicopter's coming by. So my first thing with the Battlefield games is they're always renowned for having huge maps. If you play Battlefield 2142, Battlefield 2, 1943, etc., always had these massive maps on there. And they made the game, because if you got like a vehicle, like an aircraft, be it a helicopter or a jet, they always made things, that extra bit special. But this looked good, and I'm just hoping it has those big maps. And given the current level of tech that we've got with the PS5 and the Xbox X series, we should be able to do that. You've got lots of little things here that look kind of familiar. You've got your old tanks and whatnot. This is all pre-rendered, so it's kind of hinting at stuff. They will show the actual gameplay when EA's presentation comes up. I think it's going to have, how can I put it, parts of the game that are scripted. So you get like a rocket launch. So you got to prevent the rocket launch. If the rocket launch happens and the rocket launch goes up, anyone standing next to the rocket when it goes off, boom, gone. And I think they're going to have lots of kind of bits like that in there. They've got there's a whirlwind thing in there that look really interesting. And there's
there is one thing I think on this version as I think they're going to 128 person in a game.
Yeah.
Whereas previous ones were 64. So it makes me think the maps are going to be quite big, but they're going to be sectionized.
I hope so.
Much more sectionalized. So instead of, I know there are modes. I'm playing a bit of Battlefield 1, and that's sort of like progressional. Remember how Battlefront had that Conquest, I think it was called, where you moved through the battlefield into each zone as you took them.
Create bits of maps, yeah.
That's the other thing. That's going to be sort of, I think, implemented for this. in a way.
Well, I imagine they probably will do the conquest, the dog tags, capture flag, hold the control point, etc.
Yeah.
But I also think that the map will change as you go through the game. So, for example, like say that you're fighting in a city here, I think like that buildings will collapse to create different pathways and stuff inside the game. But this next bit, maybe this is like the kind of trick things that people do. Like
Yeah, they
we
are.
load that up with dynamite or C4. Sorry, dynamite. I've gone back in time. C4. And this is the one. This is the one which I watched and was like, I've seen the
It's
person
the
do this.
famous. I've
It was
seen
a
this
sniper
clip.
rifle though.
Like, I've seen the gameplay clip of the person doing this, and at the time it was just like, my God, you pulled that off, pal. And it's made it into the trailer.
Matey did it with a sniper rifle, killed the pilot inside the thing, and jumped into the plane that he destroyed.
He did, because his was almost gone, and he did exactly that.
Absolutely mad. I just want big map. If this gives us big maps, I'm probably going to buy this as my first FPS multiplayer game for the end of the year.
Yeah,
because I miss those big maps.
Battlefield. I do really enjoy their maps and their multiplayer. Comparing that to the most obvious being COD. COD is always very, very samey. Like you've got two teams, deathmatch it, conquest, and it's really quite, free for all really. And you've got lone wolves going off doing their thing. You sort of can do it in Battlefield, be a sniper or whatever, but as a team, that is the best. It's the best FPS game, I feel, when you're playing as a team and you grow. I was trying to teach my son. I was like, mate, I've got Battlefield 1 on the PS5. Why don't you just give multiplayer a go? You're getting a bit annoyed at Apex. Stuff Apex. Play Battlefield. Have a little go. And he couldn't quite get his. I said, look, spawn on your team, mate.
Yeah.
Be a support. Be a medic. Res them up. Keep an ammo field. All that stuff. Stick with your team. Work as a squad. Do so well.
Also, with that tornado thing, I think that might be like a trigger event. If you control something, you get hold of a weapon, you get to deploy that said weapon, and then cause merry havoc with it. So you get to deploy it looks like a tornado kind of weapon.
Yeah, there's going to be more, isn't there?
Looks awesome. It does look awesome. Call of Duty looks so samey to me at the moment. I can understand why people like it, but it's cheese sandwich. What we got for lunch? Cheese sandwich. Boring sort of thing.
Popped a bit of ham in there.
They might get better. Graphics and stuff look great on it. And we're joined by Mr.
Somebody
Tardy.
didn't get the memo. Somebody didn't get the memo.
Yeah, someone who didn't get the memo. Try to give them the memo and they ignore the memo, and then Mr. Memo Boy. I think I'm hoping. Please have giant maps. 128 players. Maybe some bits in there to form the maps. People like the giant maps, and they like the giant maps because if you look at the battle royale games like Apex, Fortnite, even the Call of Duty one, people have been playing those things for a while, so they're quite used to the idea of having a giant map. But having a giant map where you can work as a giant team rather than a group of 3 individuals like you can with Fortnite and Apex and whatnot will make all of the difference. I am quite excited to see that.
I used to play from Battlefront 2 with my mates. Actually, one of them's here, joined us on the live stream.
Awesome.
Always support, always LMGing everywhere, and I just follow him around, let him be a bullet sponge, to be fair. But there was a group of us. We all ran around playing on, brilliant fun, great fun. Although I haven't played it in quite a while on PC, you never know. Great.
Apex doesn't suck that badly. All right, okay. That's
just not my sort of thing.
Let's move on to our next one, which I'm hoping will anger Keith. Okay, this is the Elden Ring. And how can I put it politely? This is the reason that George R.R. Martin hasn't finished Game of Thrones.
No, it's not. It's
One
'cause
of the
he's a
reasons.
lazy fuck. It's like one of the millions of reasons.
He's only got one hand he can write with and one hand to have a burger in, right?
No, he's got a shitload of money and he's spending it, as you said, on burgers and shit. Why would you bother writing a book? He's got the money now.
Got all the burgers I need.
Yeah, this is. It's right. The stuff looks genuinely in-game graphics, which we didn't have for the Battlefield trailer. Lots of stuff hinting at gameplay. This seems to be actual gameplay. It looks somewhere between Dark Souls and Shadow of the Colossus, just with some of the bigger monsters and stuff. I think I haven't played Dark Souls all the way through. There might have giant bloody monsters in there too.
The gameplay really does look like Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
Yeah, which isn't
It's not
bad
really
thing.
my sort of thing, but there is a massive following for that sort of game.
Yeah.
It's very strange. So I'm sure I saw a teapot a minute ago with an arm.
Teapot with an arm.
Or it looked like some kind of walking cauldron stroke teapot.
Okay. I missed
Is
that.
this from... I'm assuming that these are all releases from E3, yeah?
Well, this was from the pre-E3 Games Fest show with Jeff Keighley. Keighley. It's a place called Keighley. It's written the same, pronounced Keighley.
So is this for one particular studio, or is this all
This
the
is from
loads?
Namco, the publisher, and I can't remember who the studio are, but we'll find out in a second. Let me just get my screen. A little better. So you've got all these bits here.
A bit like the Emperor.
Wow. You know,
It looks.
once I see a little bit more gameplay on this, I'll make my mind up. But at the moment, it's all, pre-rendered CGI, so you can't really get a feel for how it's going to play.
This looks in-game. This looks game engine because there's a polish on it. It might be in-game scripted. I think it's probably the best way of describing it. But yeah, so so for all of you Game of Thrones fans wondering why you haven't got the next Game of Thrones book, this is one of the reasons.
Don't buy it.
Buy it. Buy it. It's from Namco.
No.
I like Namco. Namco.
Yes, but if George R. R. Martin's involved, don't buy it, because there will never be a sequel. I'll tell you
there's not going to be a sequel. Get over it. You need to get over it. It's not being a sequel. Someone else is writing that sequel. My money is on the two guys.
I'm never going to get back the thousands of hours I spent reading those king books because that fat lazy bastard can't write an effing book.
Well, in fairness, he did write a few books. He just can't finish them.
Yeah,
can't finish a story.
It's not how you start; it's how you finish, and that's where the problem lies. You can't fucking finish.
Hey,
going back to the game. What do you think? It looks interesting. I think
not my type of game. I'm with Nige. It's not my.
It is Nige's type of game, though.
No, if it's a bit like Bloodborne or Dark Souls, I really don't like that sort of game. I just don't have the reactions anymore. I'm moving on a bit in age.
I thought that would genuinely get some reactions out of the two of you. I thought I'd get Nige, but Nige would be like kind of, this looks quite good. And from Keith, I thought for fucking George R. R. Martin.
Wow, that was an awesome game.
Wow.
But George R. R. Martin, he's a wanker.
That's what I was expecting.
Oh dear.
I was expecting.
Don't buy it.
Get over it.
Don't buy it. Don't feed him. Don't make him learn.
Feed the beast.
Feed the beast. All right, let's go onto our next one, which comes into parts. was going to make a rude comment, but that could have come across as really bad. Okay, so we got Rainbow Six Extraction. Now,
staring into the heavens.
this is a really odd one because I always thought Rainbow Six was like kind of counter-terrorists in the real world, and then I saw this and I was like, it's looking a bit
And the nightmare.
XCOM-y. She even looks like Shen from XCOM.
I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
But it is, FPS rather than top-down.
Yeah, but
there is a bit of strategy in
the
there.
holographic table in the middle, sorry, and the big world map.
Yeah.
They have got
This
ginger
looks
person in
apocalyptic.
charge.
Have we got aliens or something? Because this looks apocalyptic. This is not Rainbow Six. Rainbow Six was a Tom Clancy. They've just brought film out that's the introduction to the Rainbow Six movies. Wasn't particularly great, but it's on Amazon if you want to watch it.
Well, I read somewhere that Rainbow Six had a very limited time event where basically it was this, and it wasn't around for long, but people played it, seemed to love it, and then it was gone. And then now they seem to be bringing out, whether or not this is DLC for Rainbow Six, or they're trying to bring it out as a full game. I don't know, but I mean, this, in my opinion, this isn't a full game. This is DLC.
What is this?
This is Rainbow Six Extraction.
So
it's Rainbow Six with aliens, and it's a full game.
Wow. Okay.
And they've done a lot. They've done a lot because they've used it, because if they have used the bloody XCOM model. Yeah, it's like you go through it and you get exposed to certain aliens. You do all the battles, you get used to them. They give you different environments, and then they add some new aliens in, and then you fight those aliens, and you keep going through it just like you did with XCOM. And it's so XCOM. I think it's the best way of describing it. You've got these weird kind of like thrall zombie kind of creatures here, which are like your standard fare for aliens.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if they. I think they do permadeath with the characters too. So if you got an operator and the operator gets done in.
Yeah, they
lose them permanently.
The operator. I watched the gameplay footage that they put out as well, and essentially you start at the top level and you work your way down. You know,
yeah. That's what the second part of this is. Let's look at the actual gameplay, because that, I think, is probably
that'll explain a fair bit.
So here we go.
Yeah, it will, because you start at the top level, you go in, you're given a task to do, and you go in, do that task on that level, and then you go down a bit further. I think you might have 3 levels to complete with tasks on, and you bring those resources back to your main base. I'd love it to be more than just that. Like, there's more to do outside of that little bit, XCOM, like, build up your barracks.
Right. What they need like a kind of technology tree and research and stuff like that to go on. If they've got that going on in the background, then I think it works, but on an XCOM level. And Keith's got that look. This isn't Rainbow Six.
Yeah. No, it's not. And I want to sort of pose that question of people that buy Rainbow Six. Do they, they're into that type of game, which this is not.
It's a bit different, isn't it?
It's a lot different, and it's
using the skills and abilities, I think, that are in Rainbow Six. However, it's not. I can see why. Do you know what? I would think it would work as a DLC quite well, and that would be a very good DLC to buy if you like this sort of thing. If you got it, but this bit bugged me. Why are they? I understand tracking one thing, but why do you need to track? Just burn them, because that's where these things come from. They grow from those, and they swarm from those.
Yeah, Rainbow Six was kind of like, it's the people like COD. It's the people that like those type of tactical games. Not a sci-fi alien adventure game. This feels. I don't know why. I don't know.
They couldn't. I don't think. I like this bit where through the wall That's good. That's exactly what you can do in Rainbow Six. But I don't think they could have traded. That maybe they think. Let me put this right way. Maybe they thought if they brought this out as a standalone game without the Rainbow Six name, they wouldn't have sold as many as they expect to.
That's what I feel they've done. They've slapped a label on it.
Yeah.
Because Rainbow Six was, I mean, aren't the stories like continuations? They're based around the Tom Clancy novels. You know, they're very much set in contemporary America about a bunch of, you know, sort of special forces off the books, dark ops. And that's what the games were. And they had stories. I mean, they had characters from Tom Clancy games. You had Greer in it and others. And didn't even Jack Ryan make an appearance? He's president, isn't he? And this is like, it just feels like, I don't know, it bugs me. It's almost like COD with aliens.
Right, hang on a second. Does the game bug you, or the fact that it's a Tom Clancy game bug you?
I think it bugs me that they're saying this is Rainbow Six when it isn't. I get exactly what Nigel's saying, and I agree with you. But if I'm having this reaction, and I haven't played those games that much, I wonder what people who sort of really buy these, you know, Rainbow Six games are going to think of this. Because to me, this is not a Rainbow Six. It's not. But that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. The game looks interesting, and I like what Nigel's saying. You know, about the sort of being able to sort of shoot behind the wall. That's cool. It just, I don't know. There's just something bugs me about it.
They must have. This is what I read, that they had done a limited time event with this sort of thing, and they must have had a huge take up and a good reaction to it from the current players, and gone, let's make this into a full game.
Fair enough.
I can only assume that's what they've done.
I'll be intrigued to come back to this and when it's released and see if it actually sells.
I think it kind of goes for me. It kind of goes like this. Yeah, it's an interesting game. Looks good. Shouldn't really be carrying Tom Clancy Rainbow Six label. Should be carrying something else. Maybe it should be called React, because that's the name I'm seeing plastered all over the thingy. I think that might be a bit better. React Invasion or React Extraction rather than Rainbow Six. But then again, I think there's rumors that you can have your Rainbow Six operators inside the game. So characters that you built inside Rainbow Six, you can have inside this game too. But as you can see, the aliens are evolving. So you play it. So that's like the Berserker from XCOM.
Yeah, the further down you go, the harder they become, the more stuff you bring back.
Yeah. I'm hoping that, and then you can do research and stuff and go through other things. It looks as a game, looks interesting. Yeah, and it got better reaction from you guys than the George R.R. Martin one, which I thought you might have gone on. Nigel going, that looks interesting. Keith going, that looks ridiculous. How dare he not finish off the bloody books?
I did say that. I did say write your fucking book and don't buy this game because you need a fucking book. Excuse me.
Okay, all right. So let's move on to. All right. Let's move on to our next one, which is Far Cry 6. I think it's this one. Ooh, crikey. There we go. Let's pop this one in here. We'll play this while we're talking. Far Cry's always been renowned for the bad guys in there. And I think, what's his name? What's the actor's name? Is it Giancarlo Esposito? Is the actor's name, the one who plays Moff Gideon and whatnot?
Oh. Yeah, he's in Breaking Bad as well, isn't he?
Yeah. I can never remember the guy's name. But they've got him as a bad guy, which I think is an excellent choice. It's a very good choice.
Oh, he does that very well. I would
definitely pick him as a thing.
So what's the setting this time? Because we get
not
different.
Cuba. Okay, the setting is not Cuba. All right, and it's not political, but it is political, and it's not Cuba. All right.
So it's Cuba then.
I think it's supposed to be Cuba. Yes, it is Giancarlo Esposito. You got the actor's name right.
Good, well done.
I'm pat myself on the back for that one. I know that's not. We want the bad guy. Oh, 60 frames a second. Well done. Let's go. Dum, dum. There we go. So yeah, he's
Is
like
that him talking though?
That is him talking. Yeah, hang on a second. Do you want to hear him talking? There you go.
It's about the challenge. Except
All the
when
modes
he
happen,
caught
everything.
a big, fat, juicy marlin, he was too proud to let that fish go.
Yeah, okay, there's
You
his
don't
word.
know!
Yeah.
You have poison, Yana! You have poison your sword!
Okay,
I
he's
have
a bad
caught
guy.
a very big fish today.
Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a great bad guy. There've been some great ones. Vass, Pagan Min, Joseph, the guy from Far Cry, probably was the weakest one out of a lot of them. But yeah, he looks like he's after his son. Something's going around there. Don't know how exactly this plays out. Are you playing the kid? Are you playing freedom fighters trying to get the kid? What's going on here? Hopefully we'll get a bit more on this. It does look good. I'll just wait because it's got a £70 price tag attached to it.
Jesus Christ, is that PS5 version? Yeah.
Well, that was the one for Returnal that they put for Returnal. It's not. It's usually 60 quid, which I think is as high as I'm willing to go. But they also showed off some stuff from their season pass, and the stuff from the season pass looks good. It's, how can I put it? Looks like a trip into hell.
Do you know what? I'm fed up with this. They've created this whole new side of the game alongside the main game to release at the same time as the main game, while not including it within the main game and putting it behind the paywall.
It is separate stories, so
don't care.
I mean, with with this one, Far Cry, you're not losing anything. You don't feel like you're missing anything, whereas certain games you do.
I think
with this and Spider-Man, I don't think you miss things. I think
I
it's just an
completely
extra.
understand if they bring out Far Cry 6 and 3 months later they release the season pass or whatever with stuff like this, because you've done quite a bit in the game by then, and then they're releasing this. I mean, they've gone, here's some extra.
Isn't that what they do? Isn't that what they do with Far Cry? They did that with Spider-Man.
Yeah, the DLC
I know
didn't come out for a good 3 months,
Yeah.
I think, for the last one, because I got the last one with the season pass.
I mean, that's not true of every game, but I know that you can. Certainly with Far Cry's 4 and 5, the DLC came later and wasn't part of the game. It was kind of like an additional add-on that you could continue the game, but it didn't feel like you're missing out on something. I suppose Spider-Man's final story, you kind of do miss out on it, because obviously we're going to get a second Spider-Man game, and there is something that happens in that DLC that will impact the second game's story. But in Far Cry, I've never seen anything that impacts the story.
Sorry, what affects the next game story in that?
The copper in the third part of the DLC. Her going off on the thing and then becoming rogue.
Wraith.
Is that Yuri? Yuri.
Yuri, yeah.
Yuri, she was quite an essential character to the game. So I suppose using Spider-Man, I'm kind of almost agreeing with you a bit now on my, because Spider-Man, that two of the DLC weren't really game affecting or story affecting, that if you did a sequel, you didn't feel like you missed something by not getting the DLC. But Yuri's storyline, you will. So, but Far Cry is slightly different, because Far Cry, there's a different, with the exception of last one, because didn't we get like a sequel to it that was kind of like a add-on new game?
Right. That what you're talking about, Far Cry New Dawn with the twins, which was that was a follow-on, not really necessarily a sequel. The DLCs from the other one were quite separate. You had the flashback from in Vietnam. You had the zombie film director that was up in the hills from that one, and then you had the hick who got abducted by aliens and sent to Mars. who was desperate not to get probed, shall we say.
I just want to go back to a time when a game is produced and it includes all the bits that they want to include within the game.
But Nigel, these aren't these wouldn't fit in the game. There's no way that VAS and going to hell would fit inside Far Cry 6 is Cuban Revolution. I mean, not Cuba Revolution.
I get what Nigel's saying. You know,
it was a simpler time.
I back up Nigel's argument with when it comes to that story affecting thing in Spider-Man, but the other two, no, they didn't. You didn't miss out. But I get it depends on the game, Nigel. It depends on the game. Some do it more than others. I think, in fairness to Gareth, Far Cry is not one of the offenders. That they are not part of the story. You're not missing out. They're not. When they
ring fence out a piece of stuff. I think Spider-Man's probably more guilty of it than Far Cry.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree.
I do think it is because it's like the Black Cat thing trilogy that could have just been inside the game. The thing that pisses me off, and I think this is the bit that they want. They're so focused on adding in extras. They could have made another game and sold us a whole new game by that time. Yeah. Back the 360 PS3 generation, you get like three games from one studio in that generation. Yeah. It would take them like 2 years, maybe a bit less, depending on who they were. But you get 3 games out of one studio in that series. The idea was that you start off, you create the game engine and all those bits. Yeah. You keep the game engine until the next generation and you just improve upon it as you go along. That's what it was. Yeah. Look at Gears of War. Yeah. You had, what was it? You had the 3 Gears of War games. Yeah. Xbox One comes along. You get Remake, doesn't count. Yeah. You get Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5. That's it. 2 games. And one was right towards the tail end. That's the annoying thing about it. Anyway, let's move on to a little bit of madness, shall we? I love Rabbids. Rabbids are cool. Rabbids make me smile. I like its pre-alpha footage. Given the stylizing of everything, it's going to be that way. I also like XCOM. I kind of like Mario too. So when you get Mario, XCOM, and Rabbids all thrown together into one arena, I'm quite happy. The problem is I don't own a Switch, which I need to get.
First one is fun. I've played it. I don't own it, but the first one is great.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about this. How does it play? You say XCOM.
It's a turn-based strategy game. Here we go. A bit more.
Right. Huh. Well, it's certainly got the real Mario feel, hasn't it?
Yes.
It's got a bit of both because Rabbids is a game that it's funny. Nintendo. It's one of these rare occasions where Nintendo actually teams up with another studio. But it's an enjoyable game. But yeah, as Gareth said, it's turn-based. But it's quite fun, and the characters in it, it's Nintendo meets the Rabbids. it's what can you say? It's fun.
That's what we really want from our games is fun.
Yeah, you just want fun games, don't you? That's all you want. Nice, clean fun.
I enjoyed it when I played it.
All right. I'm just going to... the Devolver Digital thing was... It was crazy, and it's trying to pick out... my brain's trying to pick out a moment to show you guys... Devolver Digital. They really love ripping the piss out of, how can I put it, the E3 as a whole. They've got some great bits in it. I'm just going to see if I can play you some of the bits. Where's the oh god, yeah, the NFT. You know what NFTs are, don't you? Do you know what an NFT is?
Oh,
non-transferable token. Yeah, it's supposed to be a crypto thing, so you own the first tweet or the Microsoft Paint icon, but you don't really own it. Yeah, it's it's bullshit. Yeah,
You've got
it's
a
way of-
token to say that you've owned it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Charlie Bit My Finger has been bought for, I think it was 500,000,
because
and they've
was
removed
used
it from
money.
YouTube.
because it was used as a what they lovingly refer to as an NFT. They ripped the piss out of NFTs. And I'm going to show you this. This is a really good presentation. It's annoying. I was hoping for Carrion too because Carrion was great. Right, hang on, sorry.
I'm not supposed to be here.
That's great,
I'm
buddy.
feeling-
Okay, now bring it home. Hit me with the big move. What's the punch?
There isn't one. He does not have.
Videotapes. Nina.
Tape.
What she said.
What's this now?
Well, we put the entire thing on a tape and then sell it. Right? Like this, right? Right here. Videotapes. The trick, though, is that there is one and only one, and we sell it to one buyer. We put only just the one.
Just the one?
Just the one. Sell it. Okay, and since there's only one and the buyer keeps it, and we broke the little tab on the inside so you can't copy it, it is non-fuckwithable. A non-fuckwithable tape. Right? NFT for short. It's gonna be a thing.
Can we do this? Can this be done?
It's actually already been done. Okay, the one copy of this entire presentation on tape, the one in this player right here, is available online. For the first Devolver Max Pass Plus Triple Platinum Elite Gold Star Magnum Double XL tier subscriber to go to devolvermaxpassplus.com and buy it. Okay, it is totally non-fuckwithable. It does no damage to the environment, to the energy grid, or the global technology supply chain, because it's just this old tape, right? That Caleb found in a box marked Nancy's Fancies. Okay?
I'll leave it there. Really good. Go and watch it. I just love the fact they take the piss out of the NFT. The actress playing the characters is giving herself an SJW haircut. And they play into that quite a bit. It was the most entertaining presentation. Like last year, they had the most entertaining presentation, and this year they've had the most entertaining presentation. It was good. Go watch it. Trust me, it'll be good for a laugh. It's annoying because there's one game in there that Babs is going to love because it's only from the collectible sites that he goes to, where they have like you buy the game. Yeah, so it's like kind of this is non-digital. You can only buy a physical copy of this. You only have to buy it once, and it's just like kind of, I miss those days when you just bought it and owned it, and there was no patching on day one and this, that, and the other. Okay, patching's quite useful, but not very good. Just a quick fact: Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 7, I can't remember what it was, when the license was running out for Activision, they hadn't finished the game on time, so they printed out discs with no content on, which then just downloaded the game after. So there you go. There's an interesting fact for you. So that
feels like that's what happens anyway.
That is what happens anyway. So, guys, thanks for watching. If you got this far, give us a like. And yes, we'll be back later with the monkey.
Gareth, isn't there one more on the? There is.
Avatar.
There is one that you're forgetting.
Oh, okay. There's one more. Yeah, I thought I was going to end it with the Devolver Digital one, but I'll show you this one here, which was Avatar. I'd just like to point out the following. I do not like the Avatar movie. I think it's crap. But the ride at Disney World, where you get to sit on a space opera and watch a 3D movie, is fucking awesome. And I recommend that for everyone. This is being shown off on the new Snowdrop engine. The graphics of the graphics look all right until you get to range, and it goes a little bit weird. Looks reasonably genuine, even though these might be what we're lovingly referred to as hero assets.
It certainly looks like a nice place to play. Depends what the gameplay is. I really want to see some gameplay. I didn't mind the film like you did, but it was. I think it was one of the first 3D films. Am I right?
It was the one to bring back 3D. That's why everything became 3D because of bloody Avatar.
Yeah. Although I skipped the whole 3D thing. I just got the Blu-ray and I got my new TV and I was like, yeah, popped it into the PlayStation and watched the film on 3D. Watched the film on Blu-ray and it looked amazing. The good thing is it looks like they have captured what that world looks like really quite well.
I just realised the bad guys are called RDA, the recommended daily allowance.
Was that gameplay? Or is this
I
the
don't think
rendered
that's
scene?
gameplay. I think we'll get to a bit where you get to see some clips of gameplay. This is like, how can I put it? This is like the bit you get just before you jump into the gameplay. So you fall off the cliff and then you zoom into the back of the character's head. And
See, that's the bit that feels like it should be now gameplay. To be fair, we've had a couple of comments here saying once this game's been released, we're going to wait 10 years for a sequel.
Make it 12.
They've made this game faster than the second movie. Yes, that they have. Can't wait to see how they ruin it with DLCs and microtransactions. Yes, this is Ubisoft. So
It's going to be in time for the next film, so it's not a coincidence.
no, it's not a coincidence.
it is not. But I'll be interested to see what the gameplay's like, and I would like it to be one of these very nice, beautifully made single-player campaign. I say campaign, but story-driven. Bit like the is it called Renner? That's coming out.
the almost indie
studio making it,
yeah.
but their background is in animation.
Yeah,
and that clearly shows in the gameplay that we've seen. So
girl who looks a bit like Moana, I think is probably best describing it.
Yeah, I could do with one of those. Nice. It seems quite nice game to play. We'll see what gameplay comes out.
And on that note, I think it's time to say goodbye. So, guys, say goodbye. We'll be back with the TV and movie news at 3:30 UK time. I have no idea what that is anywhere else.
In 30 minutes.
Yeah,
30 minutes or 34 minutes and counting. So we'll see you then. Bye bye.
Bye bye.